The whiskey burned down Kim's throat as he stared out at the Seoul skyline through floor-to-ceiling windows, the city lights blurring into streaks of gold and red. 30 years old and already a legend in the underworld, he controlled more territory than men twice his age, commanded loyalty through fear and respect in equal measure, and had eliminated enough enemies to fill a graveyard. Tonight, though, an unfamiliar tension coiled in his chest, something he couldn't quite name. "Boss, the new housekeeper is here," Jiwoo said from behind him, his most trusted lieutenant shifting uncomfortably in the doorway. Kim kept his gaze fixed on the city below. "You know I don't deal with domestic matters. Handle it yourself." "I would, but there's something you need to know about this one." Jiwoo paused. "She's not our usual hire." "Explain." The single word carried enough weight to make most men flinch. Before we dive in, beautiful people, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe. It's the best way you can support us as we continue delivering captivating stories that'll keep you hooked every single day. Jiwoo stepped further into the room. She's American. 25. Black. Goes by Amara. The agency vouched for her completely, said she's professional, reliable, and most importantly, she needs the money badly enough that she won't ask uncomfortable questions. Kim took another drink. In his world, loyalty could be bought, but discretion was priceless. "Fine. She starts in the morning. Make certain she understands how things work here. See nothing, hear nothing, speak to no one about what happens in this house. Actually, sir, Mrs. Park already has her working. The guest suites needed attention before tomorrow's sit-down with the Yamaguchi family." Kim waved dismissively. "Then she's working. I don't need introductions to every person who cleans my floors." But the universe had different plans entirely. 30 minutes later, Kim headed to his private quarters to retrieve documents from his safe. The corridor was shadowed, lit only by dim wall sconces, and his footsteps made no sound on the marble floor, a skill honed through years of surviving assassination attempts. As he neared his bedroom, music drifted through the partially open door. Soft, melodic humming. His hand went immediately to the pistol tucked against his ribs. No one entered his personal space without explicit permission. He eased the door open, prepared for anything, but what he found stopped him completely in his tracks. A woman balanced on a step stool, stretching upward to reach the highest bookshelf, a feather duster in her hand. She wore the standard uniform, a fitted black dress with crisp white trim, but nothing about the way it clung to her body could be called standard. The fabric molded to curves that made his pulse spike dangerously. Her skin was a deep, luminous brown that seemed to glow in the lamplight. Her hair was twisted up and away from her face, exposing the graceful line of her neck and shoulders. She rose on her toes to reach higher, and the dress shifted upward, revealing powerful thighs that made Kim's breath catch in his chest. She moved to her own rhythm, swaying slightly as she hummed, completely unaware of his presence. Kim stood frozen, something hot and primitive flooding through his veins. In 3 decades of life, surrounded by some of the most stunning women in Asia, models who graced magazine covers, actresses who commanded screens, women who would do anything to be associated with his power, he had never experienced this. This instant, overwhelming need that hit him like a physical blow. She turned partway, giving him a view of her face in profile. Full, perfectly shaped lips. High, elegant cheekbones. Skin so flawless it looked airbrushed. When she bent to adjust the stool, her dress pulled tight across her backside, and Kim felt something fundamental shift inside him. "Why are you in my bedroom?" The question came out harsher than he'd intended. She jerked violently, the stool wobbling beneath her. Spinning around, she grabbed the bookshelf for balance, her eyes going wide. "Oh God, I'm so sorry, sir. Mrs. Park instructed me to clean every room on this level. I had no idea this was your private bedroom. I'll go immediately." She scrambled down, nearly dropping her supplies in her haste. Kim watched her with the focused intensity of a hunter, taking in every detail. Up close, she was even more breathtaking. Large, expressive eyes that currently showed pure panic. She kept her head slightly bowed, respectful, which only intensified his desire to lift her chin and make her face him directly. "Your name," he said, though Jiwoo had already told him. "Amara, sir. Amara Williams. I just started today. This won't happen again, I promise." Her accent was distinctly American, with a slight tremor of nervousness running through it. She backed toward the exit, clutching her cleaning caddy like armor. "Stop moving," Kim commanded, and she went absolutely still. He approached slowly, deliberately closing the distance between them. "How old did you say you were?" 25, sir. "And you're comfortable working in a house like mine?" Her eyes flicked up to his for the briefest instant before dropping again. "I need the position, sir. I was informed that discretion is part of the job description. Whatever business you conduct here isn't my concern." "Beautiful and intelligent," Kim said quietly, stopping less than a foot away from her. Her perfume reached him now, something warm and sweet that made him think of vanilla and tropical flowers. His fingers practically burned with the urge to touch her, to discover if her skin felt as soft as it looked. A lethal combination. "Please look at me," he said, his voice low. Amara lifted her gaze slowly, and the moment their eyes connected, Kim felt electricity arc between them. Her eyes were incredibly expressive, showing fear, yes, but also something else. Recognition. Awareness. She felt this pull too, this magnetic force drawing them together. "Do you understand who I am?" he asked. "You're Kim, sir. You own this estate. I own far more than this estate." He leaned in slightly, watching her pupils expand. "I own this entire city, though most people don't know it. I'm the man mothers warn their daughters about. I'm the man who answers to no one and takes what I desire without asking permission." Amara's breathing accelerated, her chest rising and falling rapidly. "I understand, sir." "Do you really?" Kim's voice dropped to barely above a whisper. "Because at this moment, Amara, what I desire is you." Shock rippled across her face. "Sir, I don't." "I'm going to have you tonight," Kim said, the words a dark promise. "I saw you standing there, and now I can't think about anything else. Every curve, every inch of that beautiful dark skin, it's consumed every thought in my head." The cleaning caddy tumbled from her hands, supplies scattering across the hardwood floor. "Mr. Kim, this isn't appropriate. I just started here. I can't." "That's irrelevant." He reached out, his fingertips barely grazing her forearm, and even that whisper of contact sent shockwaves through both of them. "I have never wanted anything the way I want you right now." "But this is completely wrong," she breathed, though her body swayed toward him involuntarily. "I work for you. You're my employer. This crosses every line." "I don't operate within lines, Amara. I decide what the rules are." Before she could respond, his phone vibrated insistently against his ribs. Kim cursed under his breath, retrieving it. The message was from Jiwoo. Critical situation. The deal collapsed. Park's entire crew eliminated. This means war. Kim's expression transformed instantly, all warmth vanishing. He looked back at Amara, whose face showed both relief and disappointment. "Leave. Go back to the staff quarters." But as she moved past him, he caught her wrist, his grip firm. "Amara, we're not finished here. Tonight, before sunrise, you will be in my bed." "That's not a request." Amara's heart hammered so violently she thought it might burst through her ribcage as she fled down the hallway, her legs barely supporting her weight. She burst into the cramped maid's quarters on the 3rd floor, slamming the door and leaning against it, trying to catch her breath. "What just happened?" she whispered, pressing her palm against her arm where Kim's fingers had held her. The skin still tingled as though he'd left a mark. She'd taken this job for one specific purpose, to get close to Kim. But not like this. This wasn't part of any plan. Amara moved to the small mirror and studied her reflection. Her face was flushed, her eyes too bright, her lips parted. She looked like someone who'd been thoroughly seduced, and he'd barely touched her. "Focus, Amara," she told herself, splashing cold water on her burning cheeks. "Remember why you're here. Remember Jamal." Her younger brother's face appeared in her mind. 22 years old, reckless, and currently held captive by Kim's rival organization as collateral for gambling debts he had no way to repay. The Black Vipers had given her an ultimatum: infiltrate Kim's household, obtain the information they needed about his weapons operation, or watch Jamal die slowly. They'd orchestrated everything: the forged references, the agency placement, Mrs. Park's convenient need for additional staff. But nobody had prepared her for Kim himself. She'd studied his photographs, knew he was handsome in that dangerous, untouchable way powerful men often were. But photographs hadn't captured the raw magnetism, the way his eyes seemed to see through every defense, the commanding presence that made her want to simultaneously flee and move closer. And when he'd said those words, "I'm going to have you tonight," her body had reacted in ways that terrified her. Heat had bloomed low in her belly. Her skin had come alive. And for one insane second, she'd almost surrendered. A sharp knock startled her. "Miss Williams." Mrs. Park's voice was clipped and formal. "Mr. Kim requires your presence in his study. Immediately." Amara's blood turned to ice. "Now?" "But I thought." "Now," Mrs. Park repeated firmly. "Don't keep him waiting." Amara's mind raced as she navigated the luxurious corridors toward Kim's study. Had he discovered the truth? Was this a trap? She touched the slim phone concealed in her undergarments, her only connection to the Vipers, and prayed silently. The study doors stood open. Kim faced the window, phone pressed to his ear, speaking rapid Korean in a voice sharp with controlled fury. Even in anger, he was magnificent, tall, powerfully built, radiating an authority that filled the entire room. He ended the call abruptly and turned to face her, his expression unreadable. "Close the door." Amara's hands trembled as she complied. "Sir, if this is about what happened earlier, remove your apron." "I'm sorry. Your apron. Take it off." Amara's fingers fumbled with the strings, her mind spinning. Was he really going to do this now? She let the apron fall to the floor. Kim approached her with the slow, predatory grace of a big cat stalking prey. "Do you know why I summoned you, Amara?" "No, sir. I have a serious problem." He stopped inches away, close enough that she could smell his expensive cologne layered over whiskey. "Someone is attempting to destroy my organization. Someone orchestrated an attack on my suppliers tonight. 5 loyal men are dead because there's a traitor in my operation." Amara's heart stopped. Did he know? "And when I have a problem," Kim continued, reaching out to trace one finger along her jawline, "I eliminate it completely. No mercy. No second chances. Do you understand what I'm telling you?" "Yes, sir," she managed, fighting to keep the terror from her voice. "But tonight, I have a different kind of problem." His hand moved to her throat, his thumb resting against her racing pulse. You're all I can think about when I should be planning retaliation. You're a distraction I absolutely cannot afford right now." "Then let me leave," Amara said breathlessly. "Fire me. I'll walk out right now and you'll never see me again." "No." His grip on her throat tightened slightly, possessive but not painful. "You still don't understand. I don't release things that belong to me. And you, Amara, became mine the moment you stepped through my door." He pulled her against him, his other hand sliding down her spine, pressing her curves against the hard planes of his body. Amara gasped at the contact, feeling every powerful muscle through their clothes. "I can feel how fast your heart is beating," Kim murmured against her ear. "You're afraid of me. Good. You should be. But you're also attracted to me. I can feel that too. Don't even try to deny it." "This is madness," Amara protested weakly, even as her hands came up to rest against his chest, feeling his heart pounding just as frantically as hers. "You don't know anything about me." "I know enough." His lips brushed the sensitive skin of her neck, making her shiver. "I know your skin tastes incredible. I know you tremble when I touch you. I know you want this exactly as much as I do." "Please," Amara whispered, uncertain if she was begging him to stop or continue. Kim pulled back to look at her, his dark eyes blazing. "I'm going to offer you a choice, Amara. You can walk out that door right now, collect your things, and leave my house forever. I'll even pay you for today's work. Or you can stay and accept what's inevitable between us." "What does that mean?" It means I'm going to make you mine completely. Your body, your time, your attention, all of it belongs to me. In exchange, I'll give you everything: safety, pleasure, wealth you can't even imagine. But there's no halfway. You're either completely mine or you're nothing to me. Choose. Amara's rational mind screamed at her to run, to escape while she still had the chance. But Jamal's face flashed in her mind. She needed to stay close to Kim. Needed to get that intelligence. And if this was the cost. I'll stay, she heard herself say. Kim's eyes darkened with triumph. Say it correctly. I'll stay here. With you. No. He gripped her chin, forcing her to maintain eye contact. Say the words, I'm yours. Amara's throat went dry. Those words felt like signing a contract in blood, surrendering something essential. But what choice did she have? I'm yours, she whispered. Kim's control shattered. He kissed her with devastating hunger, his hands roaming possessively over her body. Amara kissed him back helplessly, her body overriding every logical thought. He tasted like expensive whiskey and danger, and something uniquely intoxicating. He lifted her effortlessly, setting her on the edge of his desk, stepping between her thighs. His hands slid up her legs, pushing her dress higher, and Amara knew she was seconds from a point of no return. Suddenly, the study doors burst open. Boss, we have an emergency, Jiwoo rushed in, then froze at the scene before him, his eyes going wide. Kim didn't move away from Amara, didn't show any embarrassment. He simply turned his head, his hand still possessively gripping her thigh. This had better be life or death, Jiwoo. Jinwoo's voice was tight. The Black Vipers just sent a message. They claim they have someone inside this house. A spy. They're demanding we turn over the weapons shipment by midnight or they'll activate their asset and destroy us from the inside. Kim went completely rigid. His hand on Amara's thigh tightened painfully. A spy? In my house? Yes, sir. They specifically said she just started today. The world seemed to freeze. Kim's head turned slowly toward Amara, his eyes transforming from heated desire to arctic fury. She watched realization dawn across his features, watched the want in his gaze shift to deadly calculation. Kim repeated softly, dangerously. Amara's phone, hidden in her bra, buzzed with an incoming message. In the deafening silence, the vibration sounded impossibly loud. Kim's hand moved with frightening speed, reaching into her dress and extracting the phone. He looked at the screen, his jaw clenching as he read the message from the Vipers. Did you locate the shipment yet? Jamal's time is running out. When Kim looked back at Amara, there was nothing warm left in his eyes, only cold, murderous intent. Well, he said quietly, his hand moving to the weapon at his hip, this is extremely disappointing. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss part 2 where everything explodes.